tell us your vision of a future Israel.
So we're starting from a very low place right now, which is our Prime Minister is thanking Abbas, the last of the Munich terrorists, for giving us fire trucks after terrorism that he supports fully, the burning down of Israel, which was fully supported by Abbas. He went and thanked him. The Museum law, which was meant to curb the shibud, the control of the land by the Arabs, to make a statement that we're not to be disturbed. If you want to practice your religion, it doesn't mean that we also have to. That Sharia will not be the law of the land. We're coming from a place where they just back down from that. In other words, Sharia law, in essence, is very much a part of Israel. The Arabs feel complete control and safety in their areas, and they come down to our areas with impunity. They walk through our streets. They're not attacked in our streets, in our major cities. They walk through freely. A Jew cannot walk in their cities. So what we have is Arab-controlled areas and Jewish ghettos. We're blocked in, we're fenced in. We cannot exit our areas for fear of being attacked and killed. They can come in our areas safely. We're coming from a very, very low place. 67 was the height. 50 years we've been going downhill. We need to reverse the trend. The first thing we have to do is to teach people to protect their own lives, because right now the government is allowing the coexistence and encouraging it. They're looking to expand coexistence with 11,000 permits of workers into Jewish cities, which further exacerbates thievery, crime, all the problems of the Arab sector, and brings it to the Jewish sector. It also brings terror. There's no doubt and no doubt in my mind that terror is directly connected to bringing the Arab workers into our land. We've seen Arab construction workers kill Jews. We've seen attacks by those who know the outlay because they used to be workers. So the government is in complete support of terrorism right now, de facto, because what happens is there's no real response to terror. Terror pays very well. And because it pays not only monetarily, but it pays by making the struggle continue and encourages the Arabs to continue the struggle, the state of Israel is partly responsible for the deaths of all the people who have been killed by terrorists because they refuse to take the proper actions. For 50 years they've been trying to have coexistence, and we bury coexistence every few months in Israel. Another victim's laid to rest. Well, people think, well, it won't be me, but statistically maybe it won't be, but maybe it will. Maybe someone in your family, maybe someone close to you. So we can't think that it'll never affect us, that terror is for somebody else's problem. Terror is every Jew's problem. And in order to go and reverse the trend, first we have to teach Jews that we're not thieves, that this is our land, every single inch of it. And someone has to get up and say that the land belongs to us, and those who are not with us need to leave. But no one is defined with us properly. There are those who define with us as those who want to make a declaration of faith to the Jewish state, which is not worth the piece of paper it's written on. Even if they themselves would be faithful, their children can go join Daesh, join ISIS, or become terrorists themselves, like we saw with Nashat Melhem, who shot up Dizengoff Street. He was the son of a loyal Arab. What we have here are problems that we cannot convince ourselves that there are others out there who want to kill us. The same people who we want to extend a hand to in coexistence want to destroy us. Once people accept that, half the battle is over. Because from that point on, then the understanding is there, it's us or them. It's going to be our land or theirs. There will be no in between. Because either they will kill us or we have to remove them. So we have to do this not through individual acts, but through legislation, through the Knesset. We have to work with the bodies that be, the Supreme Court, and everyone on the same side. It can't be the Supreme Court and everyone else is trying to evict Jews from their homes and destroy the Zionist dream when we have Arabs coming and lighting half of Haifa on fire and making 80,000 homeless. That was of no effect. There was no consequence. There was no effect on the Arab community. there was only a sparse, maybe 18, 19 arrests. Half of them let go. Because they can go and a few teenagers can bring a nuclear power, the 10th largest army in the world, to its knees, they don't have the tools. They don't have the intelligence, the tools. They refuse to accept the truth. And the truth is that they cannot stay in our land. And it's not that they make a declaration and they can stay, like there are those who want to say. Right now, there are those inside and outside the Knesset that want to say, if an Arab would make a state of allegiance to the state of Israel, he can stay. That's not nearly enough, because if you understand the culture, if you live in the Middle East, you live in Israel, and you understand the Arab culture, a statement, a proclamation to the state of Israel is not going to outweigh their devotion and their faith to the Quran and to the Hadith and to all the 70 places where it says you must kill the infidel in jihad. It's gripped the entire community. It's gripped the society. They hand out candy when Jews are killed. They celebrate when Israel's burning. When Israel was being burnt in 1,700 fires in a week, there were many celebrations across Arab societies. These are societies that we cannot coexist with. And just because today they're not burning us down, just because today they're not firing snipers at us and ramming cars into us, doesn't mean tomorrow they won't be. So we have to understand that we have to take action before they come, which is Haba lahargecha hashkem v'hargo, means before they come and take proactive action. And that has to come from the Knesset, that has to come from the government. Individuals are not, it's not an individual act. This is something that must be brought into legislation and acted upon. And who is it, how can you define faith to the Jewish people and the state of Israel? The answer is we need to look into the Torah itself. The Torah says, Lo yeshru ba'aretz echad pen yachtiu osechali, which means, translated, they will not dwell in your land because they will make you sin against me. And over there it talks about who is allowed to stay. There's a concept in Jewish law called ger toshav. So we have to create a ger toshav, which is those who want to stay have to accept the Torah over the Quran. And they have to accept the 7 mitzvahs that apply to the nations. And if they do not, it means that they're still loyal to the Quran. And therefore, they cannot stay in this land.